So our lab for this week is going to be using a bouncy ball and measuring the bounce height of the bouncy ball to see if from where we drop it from, if that matters on how high it's going to bounce after we've dropped it. So you guys are welcome to either watch me do it and record the data, my data, into your data tables, or you can see how I set up the lab, and then you're welcome to just stop after I've set up the lab and do it on your own. Totally up to you. Okay guys, so I have officially set up my lab. So here are a couple examples. So if you have the tape measure, what you're going to do is you're going to tape it to the wall. So if you have a metal one, you can kind of stretch it up to 150 centimeters. So you need one down being at the bottom and 150 centimeters being at the top. I know it seems upside down, but it's going to be way easier for you guys to measure that way. So I've taped it to the wall. Also, if you don't have a tape measure or you don't have one like this, you can just go ahead and tape up a bunch of paper. And then what I did, if you have a ruler, I know this is clear, but if you have a ruler, you can do the exact same thing. And so I just measured out, which luckily I had it here, so I kind of just went straight across. But if you have a ruler, you're going to tape up all this paper. And then you can measure from the bottom up 50 centimeters. So this so far is 30 centimeters. And then if I go a little bit farther, I need 20 more. And so I'm about there right now, okay? So then you'll just measure up your starting point. So I have a starting point at 50 centimeters, I have a starting point at 100 centimeters, and I have another starting point up there at 150 centimeters. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take whatever ball that you wanna use. So if you're following along with me and you're gonna collect my data, I've decided to use this bigger bouncy ball just because it's easier for you guys to see. It's also easier for me to catch. So we're going to start with this ball and we're going to drop it. So for our first trial, we're trying to see if the drop height changes the bounce height of the ball. And we want to figure out why, okay? So we're going to take this ball and we're going to start by dropping it 5 times from 50 centimeters and measuring how high it bounces, so how far it bounces back up. And then once we have all 5 of those trials, we are going to move up to 100 centimeters, do the same thing, drop it 5 times, see how high it bounces, and then we'll move up to 150 centimeters. So we've got a little ways to go, but stick with me. So let's go ahead and get started. And then I will be putting in the bounce height as a little icon here, a little bubble, so you can see it. So if you pause the video, then you'll have time to go back and write it down. That way you don't have to remember what I said from the video. So here we go, I guess. Let's try it. So we're going to start at 50 centimeters, roughly 50 centimeters. So if you're using a basketball or a tennis ball or something like that, you're just going to try your best. Do the middle of the ball. Try to get the middle of the ball at 50 centimeters. Okay? So here is 50. I'm going to drop it, and I'm going to see how high it bounced. So I did not throw it. I just dropped it. So it bounced right here. So I'm going to mark the middle of the ball here, and I'm going to put a number 1. So I know that's how high it bounced for trial 1. Which is 47 centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead. If I was done, then I could use my ruler. Oops. I could use my ruler and measure up and see how many centimeters that is. But since I already have it right here, I'm going to mark trial 1, 47. Okay? Then I'm going to go again. So if we're going to go for trial 2. So I'm going to start again at 50 centimeters. I'm going to drop it, catch it. This one is going to be at, looks like 41. So here's trial 2. And this one is at 41 centimeters. Let me label that. Centimeters, centimeters. Okay. Trial 3. So in the middle, we're going to drop, catch. Ooh, about right in the middle. This one looks like it's about at 44 centimeters. So we're out right here. Trial 3, 44 centimeters. Ready for trial 4. drop. Oh, that was a little off. Let's see. This one is at 37. So that's why we test them 5 times, because we want to take the average of whatever this number is, meaning we want to add up all the numbers, divide by 5 trials to get our main average that it usually was at, the main height that it bounced to. Because if we just took one of these, like that one kind of bounced a little wonky, which is okay. We're going to go ahead and use it anyway. And we're going to mark it down, and we're going to take the average afterwards so that our data isn't skewed or it isn't false. So anyway, so that one was at, what did I say, like 37, so it's trial 4, 37 centimeters. And then we're gonna take our last one. So we're gonna go up here, drop. That one was better. So this one is at, same thing, 41. So we've also got trial 5, it's at 41 centimeters. So what you're gonna do is you are going to add all of these together. So yes, you can use a calculator. So we're going to take 47 plus 44 plus 41 plus 37 plus 41 again, and we're going to divide it by 5 since we just did 5 trials, and we're going to find our average. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so I just did my math. So I'm going to explain to you how I did it again. If you were practicing on your own. So what we did, hopefully we can see this. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so we can see what I did. So we have our trials here. This is where we started, which was at 50 centimeters. So we started at 50 centimeters, and then we dropped it 5 different times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 was the same. Then we wanted to find our average. So the average amount that it dropped, meaning what was the most consistent number that it dropped at. So what I did here was we added them all up together. So I just added up all of the amounts of the centimeters here. I got this number, which was 210. Okay, and then to find the average, you want to add them all up and then divide by 5. So I took that number, I did some long division here. Again, you're welcome to use your calculator, but I just did not bring mine. So I took 210, long division, so I divided it by 5. 5 goes into 21 4 times. I have 1 left over. I carry down my 0, 10, 42. So 42 centimeters is my average number for trial 1. So that's the average number that it dropped. So now we are going to go over to our second attempt. So we're going to see if that changes. So we're going to go all the way up to 100 centimeters. So this is where we're going to be dropping from this side. So if you're ready for the next one and you're following along and you're doing it with me, then you're going to measure up to 100 centimeters. Okay? So I am here, same thing, about from the middle of the ball. I'm going to drop it. Hopefully I'm out of the way now. There we go. This one is at, so this is trial 1. And it looks like it is at 76. 76 centimeters. Trial 2. Oh, pretty much the same. This one's at 77. So trial 2 is at 77 centimeters. Trial 3. Good. This one is at 75. So don't forget, if you do not have this tape measure, that I luckily have it right next to me if you wanted to do it on paper. If you don't, remember that you're going to have to take this ruler and measure every time, but that's okay. I would just mark them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, measure them later. So just as a refresher. All right, so trial 4. 76 again. And trial 5. That one looks like it's about at 74. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna find our average again, write it down, and then we will begin our last one, trial 3. So I will be back. All right, guys, we've done our math. We are back. going to show you what we did again in case you were following along with me. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we took our all of our numbers, so all of these numbers here, the centimeters, the bounce heights, the centimeter bounce heights, and then we added all of them up together. So all of them up together, I got 378. Then I did some long division over here. So we did 378 divided by 5 to find our average. And then, so once we have 378 divided by 5, our total is going to be 75.6 up here. So we just don't forget to bring down your numbers if you're doing long division. If you use your calculator, totally fine. We got our decimals up here, so if you use your calculator, you're going to get a decimal, which is why I also went ahead and did that. So our average then is, let me write it up there, our average is 75.6 centimeters. So this is our average for trial 2. Okay, so now we are going to go on to trial 3. I might have to stand up for this one, we'll see. Trial 3 is way up there. All right, same thing, round 3. We're gonna start all the way up here at 150 centimeters. We'll write that, 150 centimeters. Cool, okay, all right, here we go. This one looks like it's at 109, trial 1, 109 centimeters. 112 for trial 2. Oops. I think I messed that one up, so I'm going to do it again. I think I brought it up higher, which is okay. So let's try it again. I didn't catch it right. And I obviously didn't catch that one right. All right, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Okay, here we go. Trial 3. Let's see if we can get third time's a charm, right? For trial 3? Okay, here we go. There we go. One is at 110. Trial 4. Same thing, 110. And lastly, trial 5. 111. All right, last step. What do we do? We're gonna add them up, divide by 5, and find our average. So I will be back once again. All right, I finished my math, and we are back for our final results here. So we added all of these together again to get their centimeters, and then we divided by 5 so we can find our average. Don't forget to add your decimal point and bring your decimal up, zeros down. And our total here was 110.4 centimeters. So that was our average. So all of these numbers, guys, that I have put into, there's Mr. Holmes if you want to see him. All these numbers that I have put up here and measured from our Bouncy Ball lab, you guys are going to put into the data table spreadsheet that I've made to create your graphs. So all the trials and the averages are going to go in there. If you got questions, let me know. Other than that, I'm excited to see you guys next week. Good luck with your lab. Let me know if you need anything, and we'll be here. Bye, guys. Thanks for having fun with me.